Somebody reached out to me this week to do a podcast, and I charged them around $250, which is way under my market rate for podcasts. And I also was willing to throw in some advertising on NutriGrounds, which is around $300 worth of advertising just for the podcast. And they kind of took offense to it a little bit. She said that she does things organically, and she said it as if it was a badge of honor. And that was the inspiration for today's video. And I got some notes over here because I want to talk about the myth of organic growth and how it changed over time. Because right now, if you're running everything purely organically, you're pretty much like playing a lottery. So the purpose of this small talk is going to be to talk about how organic has changed from, the early MySpace days, early Facebook days, to what it means to be organic now, and how as a marketer, you should never solely rely on one channel. Even if it's just organic, you don't want to do just paid, you don't want to do just billboards, you don't want to do just you want to have a well-rounded campaign for your marketing. So this video is going to be about the myth of organic and how you break away from that. So the first point is that people confuse organic growth with validation. Like, especially in some of my communities, people feel like if you grow organically, then you did it the right way. And that anyone who kind of pays to play is someone who's doing it in a way that's inauthentic. But when we think about the actual goals here, as a business owner, you shouldn't be trying to wear a badge of honor because of a certain methodology. You should be trying to run a successful business. And the algorithm really doesn't reward purity. It rewards consistency, data, and also spink. And it wasn't always like that. Like early days when Facebook and all of that, those social media platforms first came out, it was more so about what showed up on your timeline from people that you actually followed. So it was really, really easy to get people to commit to something because everyone always saw it. What happened was the introduction of the algorithm, it came after people realized that there's too much content to accurately serve to everyone. So when Instagram and Facebook first came out, it wasn't as reliant on the algorithm. It was more about what showed up on your timeline and seeing it chronologically. Now that became a problem when so many people joined this platform that it became too much content to accurately serve to people chronologically. So they came up with these interest-based algorithms to pretty much help you figure out what content you would like to consume and kind of serve that content to you without you going and look for it. And that's the difference between what it was before and what it is now. Content isn't served chronologically. We're not in social media anymore. We're kind of in interest-based media where you can blow up just by tapping into a certain interest without even having a big follower base. But confusing organic growth with validation is something that you shouldn't do as an entrepreneur because validation does not bring in money. The second point is the platform decides who wins, not you. When people say that they're doing things organically, you're pretty much just putting in a lottery ticket. You're doing videos, you're relying on the platform to kind of help you and grow you when there's really no strategy behind it. And you can find yourself burning out a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of resources just trying to post 3 times a day or put out a YouTube video every other day. Those things help, and it helps categorize you and catalog you within these platforms, but it's still a lottery ticket. You can't guarantee that any of those videos will go viral. There's been people that I've talked to and worked with that posted every day for 6 months straight and got nothing. And there are other people that posted for 6 days straight and got 1 million views. Like, things aren't as cut and dry based on how much you put content out. And like I said earlier, the organic world worked in around 2015. And that's when supply was low and discovery was natural. Once discovery became inflated, there needed to be algorithms to be able to help people navigate those situations. The next point that I want to talk about is real growth is about distribution. It's not about hope. So when you're growing something, whether it's a podcast or whether it's a business, social media account, you need to focus on distribution. And a good example of that will be NutriGrounds for us. So everything that we build around NutriGrounds uses NutriGrounds as a springboard to amplify the reach. So NutriGrounds on Instagram has around 200,000 followers. And one of my favorite features from Instagram has been the collaboration feature, where you can literally collab with popular pages to amplify your reach. Since I spent the last 10 years building up my own distribution page, now we can build up different intellectual properties that can be springboarded through NutriGrounds itself. So we've used that to build up Louisiana Crime Files, the Jazz Bounce ecosystem. We've helped brands like Anola Collective get that viewership without having to run ads or brute force the algorithm. And I wouldn't even consider that organic, because you're literally using a bigger platform to kind of springboard you up to the top. But you want to focus on distribution. Are you going to partner with local pages? Are you going to run paid ads? What is your distribution plan? And if you hone into that, then you'll be able to have a solid strategy where you can grow from. And marketing is not selling out. I want to say that, because a lot of people, even in my communities, feel that if you pay for marketing, you're selling out or you're not good as you think. Visibility is not inauthentic. Would you rather be unseen or would you rather be organic? Like, that's the question you have to ask yourself as a business owner. Like, whatever badge of honor you're wearing, thinking that not spending your money or time in marketing is not going to do the same thing that you expect it to do. You're going to go unseen, you're going to go unheard, you're probably not going to make any sales, and you're going to close business. And that'll hurt your ego worse than not doing something organically. And it's not either or. Like, you have to do both. Organic is great because it helps you test ads, it helps you get your feet wet when it comes to content creation, but you want to have more solid strategies that align with your goals so that you can reach those goals effectively. So if I'm trying to sell 20 cupcakes by the end of the month, then I have to have marketing strategies and goals, marketing strategies that align with those specific goals. And to my point earlier, every piece of content is a test, it's not a prayer. So you're not expecting your content to, a lot of people expect their content to blow up just from them putting it out there, but you're literally testing the market on how your content performs. Some content performs better in certain niches based off the layout, based off the genre. Sometimes even the music included could affect how well your content does. But these are all testing vehicles that you can use in order to figure out if your content is right for this audience. And we have to stop letting pride block our progress. Paying for marketing, whether it's through money or whether it's through time, is not a blow to your pride. It's literally you telling yourself that this is so good that I'm willing to invest to get people to see it. And I've ran campaigns on things that I thought were going to be successful and no one cared. I've run campaigns on things that I thought no one would care, and then it wound up being successful. But I was able to get there just from the constant testing and constant iterations and understanding that marketing is not a one-way street. It's an entire neighborhood that you have to navigate through if you want to see the results that you need to see. And there's no award for doing something the hardest way possible. Just because you take extra time on something, just because you went the hard way, doesn't give you any extra points. There's no premium budgeting recommendations for people who do things the harder way. You actually get paid more when you are more efficient and you're more effective. So don't think just because you're taking the route that would be seen as the long route or the harder way that you get any more brownie points than a person who figured out how to work smarter. And I'll leave y'all with this. Don't confuse being unseen with being authentic. You have to figure out ways in order to get your product out there, your service or your content, in a way that's effective and scalable. Organic just isn't scalable. If I'm putting out something and I don't know when it's going to hit, and even when it does well, I don't have any tracking features set up to know how impactful that was on my actual goals, then you're pretty much wasting your time. So what I'll leave all business owners with and entrepreneurs is just make sure that you understand marketing is not just posting on social media every day. Marketing isn't brute forcing or begging your followers to engage with your content. Marketing is about a value exchange. You want to be able to entertain someone or inform them. And if you do one or the other, you should see success if you point it in the right direction. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that. That was my quick talk for the day. Going organic, while it sounds cool and it sounds like you got it out the mud, is not really the most effective strategy in 2025.